Hare Krishna. I'll be reading a story, The Way to Understand Scriptures, which shows us the value of simplicity. In the holy abode of Sri Rangam in Tamil Nadu resides the magnificent deity of Lord Ranganath. Thousands of people visit the temple every day. One fine morning, about 500 years ago, the bells of Lord Ranganath's temple were ringing. The sound of shlokas being chanted was heard everywhere. All feet walked towards the temple. Young and old brahmanas, dressed in white dhotis and tilak markings on their head, walked side by side. Ladies dressed in silk saris carried mogra, jasmine, rose, and lotus flowers. Among all these people was a simple Brahman who visited Lord Ranganath's temple every day and read the Bhagavad Gita for the Lord's pleasure. As usual, he sat down near the temple wall and started reading the Bhagavad Gita. As he was not a scholar, it was very difficult for him to recite the shlokas. A few brahmanas sitting nearby commented, Why do you read as if you are a big scholar? Stop it. Some just laughed at him. Ignoring the insults, he closed his eyes and remembered the words of his guru. Read the Bhagavad Gita every day. He thought, I am trying to follow the instructions of my guru. I must read. It doesn't matter what others say. He continued reciting the Bhagavad Gita, completely absorbed in it. Suddenly, there were tens and thousands of people thronging the temple and were talking to each other. Did you hear? Krishna has taken the form of his own devotee Lord Chaitanya. Now Lord Chaitanya has come to Sri Rangam. He is inside the temple seeing the deity of Lord Ranganath. Did you see his golden form? He dances so gracefully. Indeed, he is the Lord himself in a special form. As Lord Chaitanya walked out of the temple, and his eyes fell upon this simple Brahman reading the Bhagavad Gita with full attention. As he came near the Brahman, he saw tears flowing from his eyes. Lord Chaitanya was curious. What was it in the Bhagavad Gita that was making him cry? He went up to the Brahman and asked him what he was doing. The Brahman looked up and bowed down to the Lord. He replied, My Guru instructed me to read the Bhagavad Gita every day, even though I cannot read very well. Then Lord Chaitanya asked, But what makes you cry? The Brahman replied, When I think of Lord Sri Krishna, sitting like an ordinary chariot driver on Arjun's chariot, it makes me cry. Just see, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is the creator and the owner of all the universe, and yet he is ready to do anything for his devotees. Here he becomes a driver of his devotee Arjun. Whenever I read Bhagavad Gita, I think of how much Krishna loves his devotees, and it brings tears of joy and gratitude in my eyes. Lord Chaitanya embraced the humble Brahman. You have truly understood the Bhagavad Gita. Seeing your efforts to please your Guru, Lord Krishna is pleased with you. Therefore, you can understand Bhagavad Gita better than anyone else. By the grace and embrace of Lord Chaitanya, the Brahman's heart became filled with love for God and all living beings. The proud Brahmanas, who always teased him, overheard the conversation. They were very ashamed of themselves. Thank you. Hare Krishna.